Hello. It just randomly mutes itself, and I just spit everywhere. Once again, you're welcome, Nikki. It's my belated birthday present to you. I spit again. Not saying I'm muted again. It's really pissing me off. It just keeps coming. Are you gonna? Why are you doing that?
You're right there.
What if they can't hear me? Hearing is important.
They can hear you just fine.
Do you wish they wouldn't be able to? Yes. Hi, Grace Case. Hey, Nikki. I didn't want to point it towards you. Those are how I see people.
Mm-hmm.
I have my imaginary boyfriend here for fun times. Don't tell his wife.
Oh, was that people?
What? No, that's not people. That's TikTok. Nikki, if you think I'm a boomer, just wait till, you we got my husband over here. You actually are more technologically savvy than I am, just probably not social media savvy. If you talk, they still can't see your face.
I understand.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know if you were aware.
Completely aware.
Are you? You don't know what to do with your hands, do you?
Don't know what to do.
Don't know what to do with your hands. It's okay. You can be weird. I'm super weird. They all know that I'm weird. I told you. You would have fun with this. I'm like, you can just sit here and make fun of me. It's fun. It's a good time. I've always wanted to share the people that I like on TikTok because I think they're funny and I just want to have a funny, fun time. Your beard smells gross. No. Shush. No, we don't know what. Nobody can see you yet.
No, it really grinds my gears.
Well, I think you will like him. And also someone said that he is a Ohioan Canadian, so you'll relate to him quite a bit.
Oh, no. Ohio can suck it.
You love the Buckeyes, and let me find the first video of him, though. There he is. I don't want to show my... You shut your mouth. Don't say anything yet. There we go. All right, let me see. Boop. Boop. Can you see it? You can see it. Instead of sharing my TikToks that I think are funny and forcing you guys to react on the Discord, I'm going to make you watch them here. But I think this guy is beautiful and you need to follow him. So here we go.
You know what really pisses me off?
No! Pisses me off that I don't know what... Oh, you're going to see my messages. Just kidding. Get out of this. Okay. Never mind. God! I want to show his very first one. Well, that went viral. Am I still sharing? I am not sharing. Did you know that I can sit here and show my screen with the people on the webs? Don't get too close. They might see your noggin.
She doesn't know what she's doing.
No, they are very, very well aware that I don't know what I'm doing. Literally, Nikki calls me a boomer because I don't, and I'm 2 generations away.
You're
but
actually millennial.
I know.
And not even
the cool kind of
not
millennial.
even the cool kind of millennial.
No. I'm the old person kind of millennial. I didn't even know I was millennial until someone pointed out in one of my classes, and I was offended. My professor said I was a millennial, and I'm like, I'm not a millennial. I'm like 10 years older, 15 years older than these people.
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing worse than going to Target and hearing your music and thinking Target just got cooler when you just got older.
Well, don't say it then, Nikki. Damn.
What did she say?
Right there. Well, you can't. Oh, that's too bad. You'll never know because I'm not going to read it out loud.
Here, I'll just read it over here.
Oh, on my phone. Oh, you're going to sit there and call. I did not meet. Shut the hell up. I may have to. Why did I buy a. I have to because it disconnects. So I have to reconnect it. I'm just going to keep my hand on it. People are leaving. All right. Quit breathing. You're breathing. I can hear you breathing. Stop breathing. All right. This guy.
My grandson said I should come on here and bitch about shit. Well, shit pisses me off. Maybe I should come on here and bitch about shit. Problem is, I don't know what shit to bitch about just yet.
Where's the one too about craft? Is this it?
My grandson said I should come on here.
Oh, no, he posted it twice.
Because he's a boomer.
Because he really is a boomer, though. There it is.
You know what really pisses me off? Where the hell's the goddamn Kraft sandwich spread? Who's hoarding the goddamn Kraft sandwich spread? You can't find it anywhere. That shit really pisses me off.
I love him. If you're gonna ignore me, at least like participate in the comments.
I'm not ignoring you. I'm listening, but you're clicking away and not doing anything. So I'm looking at other things.
I'm doing everything.
I know.
So much is happening. Okay, now I have to stop sharing again. Okay, I'm just sharing my TikToks that I think are hilarious. Shut up. I'm going to stop because this
If
is...
you pick on him one more time,
you shut your
you're
face.
going to leave. Everybody's going to leave.
Well, they've already left, so
most
it's
have
okay.
left.
It's okay.
Understandably so.
Now I can't find any of the funny ones. Here. My imaginary boyfriend is talking. It's my husband. Maybe. Maybe not after tonight. You should call him Bob. That's an appropriate name. I don't know why I think that's so funny. Oh, here, Nikki, you may not recognize this one because you're so stinking young. Shush, shush, shush. Go back. I've got to find a way to like share the. I like message myself these obviously, but I don't want to share my I mean, it's the messages to myself. So, I mean, that's normal, right? To message yourself. Funny TikToks that you want to share later. Right? Okay. Thank you. All right. My daughter also messed this up for me. Love you, kid. But I tried to do something funny in memory of this. And she's like, they're not chickens. I'm like, no.
But they weren't chickens. No, they weren't. But on that day, for that little girl, they were.
Mm-hmm.
But they weren't chickens.
You know what? No, you were not online that much then. I'm older than you. So we'll see. We'll see if I'm not that much older than you. What is he referring to then? What is that guy referring to? Do you know? Do you know? Stop looking at me. Oh, I'm sharing my messages. I really don't care. It's just my messages with me. Wait, maybe I do care. Okay.
Live right now.
In America. And also it's called StreamYards. It's like a fancy live stream thing because you can live stream from YouTube as well, but I don't know how to share my screen through YouTube. I've watched tutorials and it seems complicated and I feel like I'm going to show too much on my screen and I just know how to use StreamYards. You are that much older than me, holy spackle. This is the person, she just works construction at churches. That's why she's called Holy.
Holy spackle.
You put one in my Discord. No, now I have to figure out how to log into my Discord from here. Oh, that's what I was going to do too. You didn't like my explanation of you? That's what I think of whenever I see your name. You're a church construction worker. You spackle the walls. I'm sure it's absolutely accurate. Okay, where is it? You don't have to stay here the whole time if you don't want to. I'm looking for it. This is Discord. It's like old AOL chat rooms. But
I know what Discord is.
you told me you didn't.
I have Discord.
You have Discord?
I have Discord.
Why do you have Discord?
For nerd stuff.
Like what? You don't even play games, or I don't play games either.
I don't play
Except for mind games. You have a Discord?
Mm-hmm. I don't have a Discord. I have Discord.
You have the app just like you do with everything else. You don't make accounts. You
Correct.
just... Then how can you even participate in Discord when you...
Oh, I'm a lurker.
No, you've had to have joined server. You have to have an account on Discord. Right? Divorce stream. So I brought you guys here today. Or apparently my husband did.
So, Crystal, we're having an intervention. with your
Thanks for
friends.
doxing me, Dick. Go away. Hi. Some of you already know my name. Well, since my husband already said it, we'll just say it. I'm Crystal. Ooh, but you have a J in your name. It stands for jalapeno.
Jehoshaphat's.
I can't think of anything else.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog.
That's more than one word.
Jared.
I thought Jared was with a G. That's Gerald.
Wow.
Jared. Listen, I can spell.
Just like you can add.
I can add 3 plus 3 is 9. We've gone over this. Jeez. I don't see where you put a TikTok. Is it in yours, Nikki? But again, it's me, so it's probably me. The last one I see is Belinda. Yes, that is me. Jalapeno Crystal. Are you serious? Jesus. It's also what the J stands for. Hi, Holy's back.
So in the future,
Welcome to the shit show.
I mean, there's a reason why I don't stream with my husband.
These are facts.
He would be trolling me the entire time.
I'm looking it up right now.
You're looking up what? How to troll me?
Yep, I'm looking up
That's
how to troll.
what?
There's different kinds of there's different kinds of trolls. So you have to decide what your style is. I like concern trolling myself.
Karen trolling?
Kidding.
Karen trolling.
Yeah.
Let me see. Now it's
You were picking a lot there and not doing a damn thing.
can't unmute your guest. Oh, okay, gotcha.
I'm on my phone, so like
I'm like, unmute, and you're like, stop unmuting me.
don't get crazy here. Like I'm not on my desktop.
She is picking like crazy and not getting anywhere.
Oh, is it the whisper one from a couple days ago? Do you remember when I did the Thanksgiving blow up turkey thing of our neighbor,
Mm-hmm.
and then some big TikToker stole it and did a Christmas version, act like I didn't do it.
Dick in a box?
Yeah, Dick in a
Yeah.
box. It's cool. You can't
It's my
embarrass
dick in
me
the
much.
box.
What's that?
Oh, you said dick in the box, so I felt triggered, and I was like, it's my dick in the box.
Yeah.
There was this. Well, let me see if
That
I
is
can
definitely a
find
near wig.
it. Somebody had an inflatable turkey in front of their yard last year, but did it have a present or some sort of a cart, and it was right there, and it looked like it reminded me of Dick in a Box, so I put that to that music, and
They should have had it like be like have a frozen human in the basket.
right,
Named Richard.
Yep.
named Richard. Nickname Dick.
Dick in a box.
You know, when I used to work in the grocery store, I was like 19 years old, you know?
Yeah.
And I came out of being a homeschooled, sheltered, like really super duper like fundamentalist church kid. So like it was really embarrassing because I had to answer the phone because I was like the bagger clerk person. I had to answer the phone.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, I would like to speak to Dick in Produce. And I'd be like, okay. And I'd be like, Dick in Produce. Dick in Produce. You have a call, line 2, Dick.
So they did like the whole Bart Simpson thing in the bar.
Kind of, yeah. And I would always feel really dumb when I did it. I was like, okay. And there was another unfortunate woman that had a very like, I don't know, everybody thought she was trolling the store, but her voice was just that weird. And she was like, attention, customer service. Like, I was just like, oh my God, can we not have her do the announcement? It's bad.
No, quite the opposite. You need her to do every announcement.
People will go there just for her.
Yeah.
I would watch people stop their carts and look and go, is this a joke?
I'm going to mute myself really quick because I want to pull up the TikTok that Nikki tagged me in, but I don't know how to do it without showing my messages. So I want to pull it up on TikTok, but I don't want it to start playing yet. So hold on.
This is the part where I just fill in the awkward silence with noise that means absolutely nothing. My TikTok algorithm's broke. So my TikTok algorithm goes from philosophy to it was the 90s. That guy, I love him. To weird people that are like, check out this thirst trap. And I'm like, how did I end up in thirst trap land? I don't know.
I like watching people's reactions to thirst trap. Our dog? Yeah. Our dog has the worst gas in the world. I can't make it happen. And yes, I'm just sitting here clicking things. Okay. Can you do it? You didn't even know what StreamYard was before this.
No, I knew what StreamYard was.
Producer Bob, get with it. Roll the clip.
Hey, if I had control and didn't have to be on camera, I'd be good.
It's Caleb.
This is what you need. You need a producer.
You need a producer. You
I
need
do.
me to produce.
Well, then produce. Get your little iPad out. Produce away. Make some magic happen.
You need a buddy to get your like cues. You're like, here's the clip and the cue. So what I do is, I mean, I don't know what works for you, but what I do is I'll find what I want, and then I'll copy it sometimes, and I'll put it in the little private chat.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Hey, Nikki.
Bueller. Did you just right click the link and then just open it up in a new tab and then you can share that tab?
That's what I was trying to do, but I didn't want it to start playing.
I mean, you can not show the audio until it's playing like where you want it to.
Like I know how to do that
Oh my lord, boomer.
beforehand. I don't know how to mute it beforehand.
Boomer in a
Stina's
millennial
in
body.
chat. What's up, Stina?
Oh, I thought you said Dina for a second.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I just paused it. What the heck?
Oh,
Made you
yeah.
look.
I literally did. I'm like, wait, what?
We
If
just fucked
Dina were
around
here,
and found out.
You need to rickroll her right now.
floor plans.
She would pick on it.
Dina has
Ooh,
made
giving me ideas.
Florida worse.
That's not possible.
It is possible because it's a little bit good because I'm from Florida.
Right.
Well, I'm very sorry.
And you love me.
Fortunately, I love you.
Wow. You know, it's a false alarm, Stina. There's no meth chickens. This chick
Meth eggs.
chicken,
Meth eggs.
she dressed her chickens up in pants.
The heart wants
not.
what it wants.
Okay, that part is cute. It's the meth eggs that I have a problem with.
What
She
are
left,
meth eggs?
She left her eggs out from for the local meth heads when they got hungry.
I mean, that's kind of okay, I guess. Like, what? I mean, what is it gonna do?
She was selling eggs. They just weren't eggs.
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't hear the original story, so I don't. But I'm sure.
Oh, this would explain a lot.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, it would explain a lot.
chicken eggs. They could have been goose eggs. We don't know.
Or ostrich, or, all the things. Dinosaurs.
Okay. I've got it now. So this is like the follow-up.
2 hours later.
Shut up.
Oh, we're watching something.
See it?
Wow.
You don't have to. They can. You don't know the words.
I do.
No, you don't.
Were they making sweet, sweet snowman love?
They were.
So, I think they were making snowballs, or at least there were some sort of snowballs involved.
No, someone had snowballs, and there was
True.
things. Yep.
Listen.
When I saw that and the amount of TikToks he sent me last year at this time about the dick in a box, I'm like, I need to send this to JC immediately.
Oh, there's a BMX demo downtown.
That's random.
Don't dox yourself by giving away events, Bob.
I said downtown.
I've said where I lived before. I actually don't mind because I live in I should play that TikTok too. I live in a mid-sized town. It's big enough where, I mean, first of all, I feel like all the crazy people, if I've seen enough where I feel like if somebody wants to find me, they're going to find me. But also it's a decent sized town. So, and
hey,
it's
Alexa, intruder alert.
I mean, I kind of feel like that. I met Reg Rhetoric, so I mean, at that point, meeting you're lucky I didn't bring my Ruger boy. I mean, it goes uphill from there, right? It's all good.
Yeah. Plus, part of the thing,
I like those Alexa intruder alerts. They're funny.
Yeah. There's actually a comedian who says, I really want, and I'm hoping for the day that someone breaks into my house because I want to just hide and go on the intercom as he hears all the doors locked simultaneously.
Oh, can you program different things to happen in your house?
Mm-hmm. So if you say alert and then all the locks lock simultaneously, and he says, "You've chosen poorly, my son. Release the hounds."
So we can live out home alone, for real.
Yeah, it's like Home Alone adult level times 2, at least.
Let me see.
Binders, Stina. Binders.
Yes, Tina said Tina
Oh,
probably has a binder.
I'm positive. I'm positive. The second I was blocked, I'm sure there was a binder created.
I feel like mine started probably a while back when I first was like sharing my concern with people doing stuff. Oh no, I can totally look up all your stuff for you because nothing is private on the internet, which I understand what you put something out there, but I still like I've heard well, even remember when like Erin got doxxed by Roadhog or whatever, I still never looked up her damn address. Like I don't know. I just don't have that in me, like to go.
Right. All of us could have, and we didn't. Like, even when this information was out there, we didn't. And, like, I'm sorry. It's not my fault that when I say the words, I'm close to KJ, you take it as I'm close to KJ. No, what I actually meant is I live 20 minutes away from her. Not that I'm actually close to the woman. I think I would need a psychological evaluation if I actually was, but no.
I'm close to the Lobster King, but he's
Ew.
sort of like in the armpit of SoCal.
I'm sorry.
He's like in the armpit. He's over where the smelly Salton Sea is. It's stinky there.
I have only been to California once, and that was like the San Diego. Was it San Diego that we were in the airport? We had a layover when we went
That's
to Seattle.
my city. We're the best around.
Nice. I've only been to
I
the
want to go
airport.
to the zoo there.
You
I want to go
come.
to the zoo.
I have a zoo pass.
We have to leave.
Are you serious?
We have to
Yeah.
leave places to
Oh
change
my God.
gates.
Everybody that comes and visits
Yeah.
San Diego goes to the zoo with me or a brewery. It's usually one or the other.
This is my favorite
love
comment.
that. I watched that zoo like on Discovery Channel on their live feeds. Like, I'm obsessed with it. So
They're really good too.
What's so special about them? I mean, that came out weird.
What's so special? Well,
okay,
What's
elephants. The
What's that?
elephants are
Joan
what get
Embry?
me.
Do you remember Joan Embry?
Yes.
Yeah, Joan
I'm
Embry's
not.
from the San Diego Zoo from back in the days. San Diego Zoo has probably the most successful conservation efforts out of all the zoos. I know a lot of people bash on zoos nowadays. It's really
More
popular.
than Carol Baskin?
Definitely more than Carol Baskin. They run what used to be called the Wild Animal Park and now is called Safari Park, where the animals get to have free roam. And then they also do the regular zoo as well. And so it's pretty cool. Like they have the most advanced like enclosures and things like that as well. And then they try to there's some animals that they'll try to release back in the wild. The problem is though is like things like orangutans, their habitats like really literally getting destroyed, the poor things, and like there's no way to where to put them anymore.
They're getting destroyed in the zoo?
No, they're getting destroyed in their habitat, and eventually
Like
orangutans and cheetahs might be
mixed up exhibit with habitat. Gotcha.
They might be gone soon. That's not good.
Cheetahs?
So cheetahs had a virus that took out a lot of them, and they don't have genetic diversity, and so cheetahs aren't doing so well either.
That stinks.
The zoo that's a few hours from me works with San Diego, and they just had they have 2 new baby elephants, and they're expecting the 3rd. And elephants are my thing, like they're my favorite. So I told my husband before we move, I'm like, I need to go back to that and go see the babies because that's just all up my alley. So
if you want to go, you can.
I will.
Or either stop playing videos then.
I'm trying to find that one video of the comedian talking about you've chosen poorly.
Oh.
Just tell him to just look in the TikTok search for Alexa home invasion.
Yeah, let's see. Comedy Alexa.
Why do I keep doing this? I think that is my problem. Is I'm dumb. So I don't know if you guys saw Tina's comment. I guarantee you, if Tina was in the same room with KJ, she would sniff her hair.
No.
You'd
I can
sniff
recommend
her
a different
hair.
conditioner for you.
And then she would tell you, be like, I think you could do this with your hair, and you could do this, and this is how you're going to prepare it, and this is how I could style it for you.
I can do a free haircut for you. I'm sorry this whole time. Like, I know, like, I didn't, it was just a big misunderstanding. Like, people were pushing the narrative, and like, I have facts and evidence. You can see all of it in my shoebox, and everything's going to be okay. I just really wanted to be your best friend.
She piles in so much information and then tries to be like, so and then she'll ask you a question and be like, yes or no, and you're like, I have to accept all that information that you gave in order to answer your next question, which is also very narrow, and like, no thank you, Tina, no thank you.
Yeah.
And even like when she's analyzing a situation or a comment or where she's going to land with something, she makes it very obvious. And when I say she makes it very obvious, she's very bluntly obvious in DMs about how I need to present this to my, and she uses the emoji, red circle.
What? Oh, to my cold. Yeah.
To my red circle to get their opinions.
No.
Oh, yes.
So who's in her circle of trust?
I mean, I could name a few.
I'm thinking EKC for sure, right?
Oh,
but like who else?
Yeah.
EKC, Steve, Claire.
Yeah,
I mean,
swear to God, Claire's involved in fucking everything.
I give a little bit of slack to Claire because I feel like she's riding the fence a little bit. And do I like that she rides the fence? No. But I don't think she's necessarily as involved as some others are, or taking a inappropriate response as certain other people are to certain situations.
I just want to hear what that clanging was. Someone went cling, and then I thought, oh, is this meditation time?
I don't know.
No, it was Stella. It was Stella.
More cowbell.
It was Stella.
I think we were all over Katie. By then it was like let's just have fun. Who cares about this anymore?
Yeah.
None of us do. All right.
I think Claire also just wants to focus on her own channel while still I feel like she feels obligated maybe to mod for the channels she's been a part of for so long.
She made a moderator creed, for God's sake. She takes herself too seriously. Come on.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, she is really good about promoting. I mean, half the reason that people came to my channel was because of her, but because we did the Black Mirror series together. And she is really good. Not that, for one, I don't think there's anything wrong with people who want to be a YouTuber, but I just like to do it for fun and for community and whatever. But she's still, even with that, she was really good about supporting people, putting your links places, sharing, live streams or videos or whatever. She was really good and supportive about that.
Ooh, can we talk about Black Mirror for a second? Talk about existential dread.
Second.
Every episode is existential dread, and fantastically done oftentimes, but existential dread.
I heard, and haven't researched more, that they're possibly starting up the series again.
It was really, I think it was good. It was like the right kind of horror. I put it in a horror genre, but it was like horror light.
Someone described it to me, because anytime I would try to explain it to people when I was trying to get them to watch was, and then I'm like, yes, this is perfect. It's a modern day Twilight Zone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like a
Yes.
technology Twilight Zone, kind of.
That's a very good comparison because Twilight Zone also has a lot of existential dread.
Yes.
Especially
I
for
felt like every episode I went on an emotional roller coaster, and at the end I was like, wait, what happened? Like,
Yes.
I knew what happened, but at the same time I'm like, did I just what? So
They also like were episodes that really kind of they were, you know, like some sci-fi and stuff like that, you don't get your feelings invested, but I mean, they kind of mash some buttons sometimes, like things that are just like, oh, I feel some kind of way about this. Like,
Very
you
much.
know, yeah.
And I know of one episode that I'm just convinced is a nod to Twilight Zone. It was, I think theirs was called, I can't remember who. The episode was White Christmas. I believe that was Black Mirror's name. But I was watching a Twilight Zone where this guy had he had committed some crime and he had to live out his sentence on another planet. And like the little box that he was in, basically, it was kind of like almost a Connex box is what they made his house. It was vision wise, and the feeling of isolation and infinity was identical to the White Christmas episode, although that guy did kind of have somebody to talk to, even though he was a hologram or whatever in the episode. But it was very similar. I'm like, oh my gosh, when I started watching the Twilight Zone, I'm like, this is like that Black Mirror episode. Let me pull up that. I found the Alexa thing that he was talking about. Oh, I have it on the screen. Okay, let me play it real quick. Do you want to see it?
Yeah.
Okay, seriously, I hit play. I think you are jinxing me because I don't know. I did. Look, play. Ready?
What's wrong with you?
I don't know what's wrong with me. I mean, I can't narrow down what's wrong with me. But see? Oh, do not do the thing.
No,
anytime I have issues with electronics, what are you doing? Where's what at? You can't do it like that.
This is where you pretend to yell at your producer, Bob.
Bob, what are you doing?
I'm so ready for
a little
home
play
invasion.
that. Oh.
I almost want it. I do. I have a whole fantasy of a maniac in my house with an axe, and he can't figure out why nobody's home to kill. And then he goes to leave, and he just hears the windows and the doors lock in unison. And then over the intercom, he just hears. You have chosen the wrong house, my son. Some houses are so easy to break into, but so difficult to leave. Welcome to the game, boy.
Nice.
Welcome to the game where the hunter becomes the hunted, and only you can tell death to come back another day.
What was that little?
Release the hound. I'm so ready for a home invasion.
Nice.
That was it.
Shut up.
7 minutes later.
It reminds me of that Netflix show that's like super popular from, was it South Korea?
Joe Coy?
No.
He's not from Korea, but
No, was it a Netflix special? Was it special?
It's a series.
Mm.
Hold on.
You talking about the one with the game?
Yeah, the game where they literally
Oh,
live
Squid
or
Game?
die.
Yeah,
Squid Game. There you go. Yep.
I could not get into that, and I like weird stuff. I watched the
Man.
first episode, and I'm like,
You
don't-
you might have to give it an episode or two. I wasn't into it as much as my husband. My husband loved it.
yeah.
So
I think the worst part of Squid Game is the nighttime thing. Like they're like lights out, everybody stab each other. Like what?
Knives, all kinds of knives. Short ones, long ones.
Do you remember that, Nikki?
That was
Did your parents let you stay up and watch that one?
I think I
Yeah.
fare well on a lot of the games. Like those games, I got this, except for like the knife fight at night.
I mean, I'm short, but I'm feisty. So come at me, bro.
Yeah, but you won't be able to see them coming at you. That's the problem.
I got
Neither
night
will they,
vision.
because they think she's up here and she's down here.
They'll think I'm down here, but I'm really up here.
I would probably try some tricks, like if I knock this bed over and then like bury myself in mattresses, maybe they'll think I'm a dead body.
True. What was the point of all of it? Meaning, like,
Well,
Was
I've
there
decided that
a winner?
I've decided that, like, you know, the battle royale movies are sadistic and they just like to see blood and people die. And
Is this
then
why you don't like Call of Duty?
oh, I played Call of Duty. I played exactly twice by myself, and it was like in one. I didn't have a squad that I could drag down. It was just me, and I
Oh,
killed
so
two
you
people.
played solos?
Yeah, I played 2 solos, and I killed 2
Oh.
people before I died. So at least I figure I'm ahead
Well,
of the
then,
game.
yeah. If you killed 2 on your first with a solo, yeah,
Yeah,
we can get you there.
Nikki, show me the
Murdering more
way.
people?
Well,
Oh, yeah, I'm going to show this one. Okay, shush. Shush. Pause.
Kayla is bullshit.
Have
I'm a
you seen
slow
this one?
shooter, so I always shoot for the chest, and then I tilt my gun up as I'm shooting, so that way I'll eventually get the headshot.
you always need to aim for the head.
I can't.
That
I'm too
sounds
slow.
so bad.
I'm so slow. I do the trick where I go like I'm gonna like whatever hits, and I move my gun up.
Oh, yeah.
It's called spray and pray.
Spray.
Pray and pray, exactly. Thank you.
Yep, that can dual purpose. Dual advice. Spray and pray,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Oh Lord.
Mm-hmm.
No baby, no baby, no baby, no baby.
Oh my God.
That's what came to my mind. I don't know what came to anybody else's.
Oh my goodness.
Are we talking about pulling
Going
out
back
now?
to the mayhem days. I don't know if I ever told you. Shit got weird. We used to just like do silly little teenage, haha, you said balls kind of things. And then it went to, I'm naked underneath my sheets right now. We're like, no.
Wait, who is?
Fake lost connection.
What are we talking about? Who's naked?
A bear.
The
Well, I'm not wearing pants right now, but that's normal.
No one dancing.
What? I'm just an avatar. It doesn't matter if I'm wearing pants or not.
but you don't have to like announce it.
Hey, at least she didn't say she's, doing things.
I feel like
What?
if you had reacted differently,
We're
then
live, you know.
that's
We're
where it
live.
was going.
I'm
I
aware
feel like
we're
that's where it
live.
was going.
This has happened on the live before. This is memories for us.
Is this why like Claire demands people to have avatars that have no shirt?
Yes.
Because I was traumatized from Aaron's avatar that was shirtless. I said, "Can you please put a shirt on your avatar?"
Yep.
Then I may or may not have secondhandedly traumatized you because I helped make some of those avatars naked.
Oh my
It was
God.
fun and funny for a moment until it wasn't. Again, it was like we're all laughing and joking, and then someone was like, we're like, no. So speaking of inappropriate things, am I sharing this? I am. I'm gonna ask that all night. Oh wait, shush.
Does anybody wonder why penises are shrinking, taints are shrinking?
Wait, did he just say taints are shrinking?
Yes. He said,
What?
Penises are shrinking, taints are shrinking.
hold on, let me pause it. He says, do you ever wonder why
Play that again.
penises are shrinking and taints are shrinking? And this is a stitch. This person comes in and is like, what? And I have seen his reaction so many times, but I still giggle just like the first time I watch it. I'm about to play it again. Ready?
Why penises are shrinking, taints are shrinking. What?
How did taints shrink?
Why is he in the applesauce section?
The baby food section.
I'm going to be honest, yet so brave. I have never been sitting at a dinner table with friends and been like, everyone, ding, ding, ding. I'm just wondering, next generation, taints, smaller, Oprah-line.
Oprah-line.
Does anybody wonder why penises are shrinking, taints are shrinking?
No. And then you see some of the comments. It says like, are we supposed to measure our taints? And he's like, I am unaware.
That's what I'm wondering is like, who's got the ruler out?
No comment.
And what is the standard? You know what I mean? Like, what is the baseline?
We know like the average dick size, but we don't know the average taint size. That's
Wait, hold on. We do?
Someone did a TikTok the other day, and this whole thing was brought up, and they're like, you need to shove the ruler like in a little bit to get the accurate starting point.
You gotta measure from underneath. That's where you get the true measurement.
Remember the TikTok I sent you where it was like people had been gaming. They were like playing a game and they were all talking to each other, like dudes, just whatever. And someone, I'm gonna fuck it up because I cannot retell jokes well at all. But it was like, if you just pull like harder, then you get like an extra half an inch or something. And it was similar to this. The guys were just joking back and forth. You mean all my life, all I had to do was.
What are they pulling?
Their wieners.
I feel like I entered the perverse stream and I didn't expect this.
Neither did I. I was just here for you.
You don't know what I do online.
And I mean that would be fine and all, but
I don't know what you
I
do
don't want to
online
be known
either.
as the weird one.
Did not know my husband had a Discord.
Welcome to JC after
I don't want to
dark.
be replacement Claire.
I don't want you to either. So
This is
please
some damn
don't.
dumb fuckery in here.
That gets me. When you did that the other night, was it your Twitter space? I was like, I literally thought Claire come in there for a minute. I was like, the fuck?
Sometimes I get it on the nose and sometimes I don't.
Ooh, it was a good time.
Oh my goodness.
And this part is what I miss. This is the part where like we used to just have so much fun on people's streams and just be stupid, and then it got weird, and then it was like, I'm sorry, you do what? And you stalk who? And your dark web what? No, I thought we were just having fun.
Wait, who's in the dark web? Because Cheshire accused me of being in the dark web, and I'm like, I don't even know where the dark web is.
I mean, Erin's on the dark web. She owns it.
You remember when we said measure from underneath?
Oh, that's where it is. It's in the taint.
It's in the tank. You brought me here for color commentary, so I'm just trying to provide.
I like your husband. He needs to be on more.
I agree.
This is our marriage. It's
We
what
should
we
have like a series of JC and Mr. JC after dark.
Yeah.
The after dark part sounds a little bit racy though.
Okay, so what?
Kidless.
After the kids go to bed.
After the kids go. No, you can't sleep downstairs. You're sleeping in your room tonight.
Yeah. Our daughter likes sleeping down here because we won't let her have a TV in her room because you're in elementary school. But on like weekends or holidays, breaks, stuff like that, she can sleep down in the living room and she stays up and watches TV and then eat secret snacks that she taught me. I remember when she was like, Mommy, if you take your candy wrappers and then you put trash on top of it, then people don't know you ate more chocolate than you're supposed to. I'm like, do you realize you're telling me this? The one that you're going to get in trouble with for doing this? But hey.
Like when I found a cookie underneath her pillow. Yeah.
Our daughter. We have weird kids because we're weird.
You know, though, it's a sign of intelligence when kids start to lie and be a little devious. Like, it's actually a proper, like, it's like a proper, like, I don't know, like stepping stone, like, so to speak.
Keeping your kids ignorant. I'm just saying.
Keeping your kids ignorant. I'm trying to see if there's any more stupid TikTok things.
Well, I got a bunch.
Do you guys do Elf on the Shelf?
Nope.
No. We're
Oh.
not dumb.
No. Are you kidding me? That's like, oh,
We're
kids,
not
have you heard of
dumb.
Barney? No.
Okay,
Is Santa real? Is Santa real?
No.
You at least know that it's what it is and
Right.
why you don't want to do it. So here's one.
I'm so confused.
Read it again.
I don't think I want to. He's showing me memes.
And there is.
Someone decided to do an Elf on the Shelf for their adult children, and
Is he holding liquor?
well, JC will show you. I just sent it to her.
I like Snoop on a stoop, but I don't understand what you do with him. Like, you just leave joints everywhere? Like, that's the only thing I would know to do.
Drop it like it's hot.
Our we taught our kids like Santa's like a story. I mean, we still do like we don't put presents out until Christmas Eve. You know, they're still surprise and fun and everything. And the same thing with like unicorns. She was obsessed with unicorns for a couple years. And I remember her asking me if they were real. And I said, well, horses are real, but you know, unicorns are like a character, kind of like whatever TV show she was watching. With Santa, she has argued with me and told me and gotten mad and been like, I do not want to hear you tell me that Santa is not real. I don't want to hear that. I'm like, oh, okay. And I even told her, I'm like, I mean, I won't sit there and tell you that, but I'm not also going to sit here and say that he's real either. We just will agree not to talk about it. But the whole unicorn thing, we had told her for so long, you know, they're pretend. And I think it was around Easter time one year, a local farm with their ponies, they were doing this whole unicorn thing. They put a strap on the pony's head.
She just said strap on.
I did. We took our kid to a horse strap-on event, and you know, we explained to her, like, we're taking you to this. It's ponies dressed as unicorns. That's how we presented it to her. We know you like unicorns, and these ponies are dressed up as unicorns. It was 6 months later, and I don't know why. She always has serious conversations with me. And not only is it just with me, it's only when we're driving down the interstate. not a highway, not a 2-lane road. It's just me and her in the car, and it's down. We're going 60, 70 miles an hour down the interstate. And she was asking me, she was like, Mommy, are unicorns real? And I was like, no, baby, we talked about that. Those were ponies, dressed up as unicorns. And she got so quiet and just was like, you lied to me. I was proud of you. I was proud of you and Daddy, but now I'm disappointed. And it was like, I feel like we were trying to do a good thing by being honest with her about stuff, and it like backfired on us. Oh, you're all right. Church construction worker. I'm going in my Discord again. I had gotten out of it because
I tried to send you one more that's like a blow up Christmas thing because it seems to be your thing, and it copied the same one, so I'm trying to hit it again.
Oh, okay.
There we go. I got it.
Pardon me. You muted yourself.
Sorry about that.
You're all right. Technology happens.
StreamYard's not very kind to phones, and for whatever reason, my old iPhone works better on it than the new one does.
Yeah. Don't start playing. Nope. Is it the Elf on the Shelf? Is that the one that you sent me?
I sent you two, but
why is it doing that? I will hit pause and it will start playing. I'm bad at technology, but I'm not this dang bad.
I mean, you had a whole conversation with a bot.
Okay.
So.
And I have multiple accounts that I'm not aware of that I created. So, okay.
Oh, God. That whole thing? I've seen that so many times.
One day she like messaged me. She's like, I tried calling you. You won't answer. What is wrong? And I'm like, you didn't call me. And then she was trying to call the bot in Discord.
Yeah. She wouldn't answer.
That's lovely.
She's a jerk.
I was literally dying.
Oh, do they really? Stina says they sell mini liquor bottles for Snoop on a stoop. That's funny.
I saw Snoop wine at the store the other day. I almost bought it.
Wine?
Yeah, he has a wine. He has a winery.
His family is from Union.
Snoop's?
Yeah.
He's lived in LA his entire life.
He has family in Union.
Okay, he's got family there. Who doesn't have family in Union?
Most of America.
I don't have family in Union.
I don't have family in Union.
I would check your family tree.
It's a small podunk town.
Who thinks they're gangsta?
Yeah, they do.
You can't get there from here. That's a hilarious thing. You can't get there from here.
What do you mean you can't get there from?
It's like back roads of South Carolina, 2-lane roads. Like I dated someone that was from there, and I'm surprised that it
was gangsta.
I mean, I wouldn't do it just because I would be afraid that I'd get murdered by a Murdaugh person. So
That's down south. That's at the coast. Don't worry about it.
Low
Not
country.
Up here. Up here, you get locked into a Connex box.
Yeah, there was a serial killer that
what's a Connex box?
You know the big metal boxes, the shipping boxes, the metal shipping boxes.
Oh.
Yeah. He had one on his property and had someone come out. It was some real estate agent that was a serial killer. He killed like 7 people.
And he did Amazon reviews
of
the knives and things you would use.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wait,
cut through flesh very nicely, like butter.
Did he have a girl that got like lived?
Yeah, she
was okay. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep,
That's
I remember
like
that
45
case.
minutes from us.
Oh hell. Okay.
And they think he is responsible. Like I think
they
within
found out he was
of the bank.
Yeah. The bank, well, not the bank, but the motorcycle.
Oh, well,
shop.
yeah, he admitted to that.
Yeah.
But you remember, I don't know if you lived in South Carolina yet. It happened not that long after I moved here, like within the first year, but I'm thinking even within the first 6 months.
Yeah.
There was, and why this bank existed, I don't know. There was a bank in like a mobile home building, and it was right at the exit ramp of the interstate. Incredibly stupid. But someone came in there at the end of the bank day, like right before they were going to close. There was nobody in there besides, was it two tellers or was it a teller and a customer?
It's your story.
I just remember it's stupid. It's not my story. I didn't do it. But so yeah.
And he was responsible for like a whole, like a few people at like a performance store, like of ATVs.
Motorcycle. Yeah. Motorcycle
Yeah.
ATV shop. It was right,
Yeah.
that was right down the street. That's not far from us.
Yeah.
Had an argument with them.
And I think we were
I actually shopped there.
There that week. It was weird. I remember seeing out in the news. We got my helmet, like Yumi and went and picked out because I didn't have a helmet yet.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I remember that case. That case is wild. And that too, when like the stuff that like got him arrested came out, they even said like they think he's responsible for way more stuff. So
right.
Yeah. No, but like I said, so that's the upstate. So if you get down south, you can get off by a Murdoch, or you can come up north and get off by a Sierra, or whatever. That's cool.
Todd Collip, Kohlhepp, Collip, something.
Yeah, he's a fat real estate agent.
he was popular up until when he got caught.
Well, he sold a shit ton of property.
Yeah.
He had a property. His property was nice. It's a nice property, but he had chain link up, and then had 2 Connex boxes. One of them which held, people that he was
people.
Mm-hmm.
I feel so like for that girl. So she was discovered,
but her boyfriend was gone.
Yeah. He watched him.
Yeah.
Kill him right in front of her. I'll just pull up since we're talking about it.
I can't even imagine the amount of trauma that comes from that. Like, you're trying to survive yourself, and then you're watching like the person that you love being, tortured and killed right in front of you. I can't imagine.
I don't think you ever get over that. Like that's just gonna follow you. Like there's some things you just can't get over. Like it might look different for you, but it's gonna follow you.
Dang it! He was born in Florida.
Yeah, he was. That's why my friends from Columbia won't come up here very often, because they said they're afraid of getting snatched.
None of these people are from South Carolina. That's our capital. It's in the very state.
I don't think his mom is around anymore, but at the time when he got arrested, like his mom was still defending him. Like she was so in denial, like it was stupid.
Some parents go in denial not only because like they love their kid, but also they think it says something about them as parents, right? So like they're in denial double.
True. But in a way, sometimes I feel like it does, depending on the situation and depending on the upbringing. It does say something on them.
Like you would think that you'd be able to catch, like, if your kid was a sociopath or psychopath, right?
All I'm saying is that normal women from Florida are ride or die. I think I grabbed the wrong one.
What? Do you want some meth in your chicken in the morning? Because I will scramble your eggs and sprinkle something in there.
I'm from Florida, so don't you have some on standby?
I do. And I know somebody who,
I'm sure you do.
Well, these people know her too. That's
you know a Florida man?
Mm-mm. I know a Florida woman who does great tattoos. If you need one.
Oh my God.
I'm putting myself back on the radar again.
Are you buying a red wig as well and buying some eggs?
Yeah, I think it would be worse to survive stuff like that for some people. Yeah. House for sale.
Indeed.
Daughter looks exactly like him. Saw her out on the swing the other day while driving by.
This house right here?
Yeah, our friends.
Yeah, our best friends.
Yes.
Daughter looks
exactly like him. Exactly like him. I still don't think I can find it. Nikki, I'm talking about. Oh, thank you.
Wait, are you talking about the guy that impersonated a police officer?
Yeah.
That genius. He used to stand out in front of his house. It was next door to us, and put his foot up on his. I don't even know what it was, like a Subaru or something. He used to put his foot up there with his utility belt on and just kind of stand there. And I'd come home, and he's like, yeah, I'm just listening to the radio, listening for stuff going on. I'm like, aren't you a volunteer? Wouldn't they have called you?
Stina,
awesome.
Stina, like, I would have, so I almost, like, I was trying to choose my avatar, and I almost chose Mark Safe from Dina's crotch, and then I thought, oh, that would be too much for this stream.
Nah.
That was going to be mine. I don't even know who Dina is. But that was going to be mine.
I cry so much. There's so many times where he's like, I don't want to listen to you talk about these people anymore. And,
well, the funny thing is when she talks about all these people, I say, I have to categorize them. All right, so super bad, kind of kooky.
Oh, they know.
Yeah. So
wait, what am I?
My friend.
I don't know who that is.
That's Nikki.
Nikki?
My friend.
You're not even rated, so that's probably good.
Oh, rated. Yes, not even rated. I will take it because I don't want to be rated at this.
Right. Well, again, there's super bad, kind of kooky, and batshit crazy. So I don't know.
There's a lot.
I don't want to be rated. I don't want to be rated at all.
I'm rating you right now.
I thought you meant that I like never talk about her or anything. I'm like, I always say my friend Nikki.
No, I'm saying I don't. The ones when you talk about the craziness, super bad.
You know, I told him a little bit. Like I say basic things, and then I've told him about the lobster. I've told him about Shanny for Christ, and I love talking about Shanny for Christ because he goes, "No, make it stop, no, oh."
About who?
I don't know. I know she's some crazy person on the internet, but I really don't know who. I've heard Shanny's name for like a few years, but
she's like a white trash Ursula. That's all you need to know.
I'm curious what the one with the wilted flowers that's so sweet is rated by Mr. Dogood.
The what? Say it again.
Oh, the betrayer?
The betrayer.
Claire?
No.
I don't know what you said. I wasn't listening to you.
The one with the flowers.
The betrayer.
Oh. Did you say that?
What?
The one with the flowers, the betrayer?
I don't think so.
What is she rated, according to him?
I don't know if I fully told you about Megan because it's like too.
You guys get deep, and I
She's the one that told me
to my happy place.
Yeah, his eyes glaze over, and he just stops listening.
I hear skis
Flowers.
on slopes. I don't know.
I'm so sweet. Yeah. Megan was one of the mods, like with Erin, and she was very close with Nikki. I was friendly with her, and Lord Jesus. She's turned out to be worse than like Katie, the original crazy person, where his eyes are glazing over. He's such a dick.
It's exactly what my husband's eyes do. Although with Megan's a little bit different because he knew her. So But when I talk about KJ, he's just like, okay, cool. Like she's a psycho that lives close to us.
Nice. Here's something else. Oh, it was the TikTok that you sent. That's what I was gonna pull up. I guess I can take the serial killer down.
You're fine with Katie living close to you because she doesn't leave her house.
She doesn't, and not only that, but like she lives outside, like well outside of the metro area. So she shops at the same Walmart. That's all I know.
Do you run into her once in a while?
I haven't, and I don't think I ever would because she doesn't go. She sends her husband. So if anything, I would run into Todd, not Katie.
Serves others? Is that?
He created a website. So, okay, let me screen share it. First of all, I was trying to like explain because I don't know if, I think the only person that I've told is Nikki. But
are we talking about the police person?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I may have told Stina in like a voice chat or something, a group voice chat. But yes, like we could literally put our hand out of our window and touch our neighbor's house that close. It was pretty big news. Did it make national news?
No.
Okay,
then it was not pretty big news. Our neighbor.
It was big news to your guys' area, not necessarily to ours.
For the neighbors who defended him, I laughed. I'm sorry, what?
So he pulled someone over. He impersonated a police officer. He was not a police officer. He pulled someone over. The person who he pulled over pulled up Snapchat and recorded because he was like, so the police officer that just pulled me over is now getting arrested. So it was actually going around Snapchat. That's why I feel like it got picked up.
So he pulled someone over with red and white lights that you can buy from AutoZone on his car. He pulled someone over. And then the police officer, who happened to be across the street and watched the entire thing unfold, was like, is this motherfucker real? And pulled up behind him and pulled him over and then arrested him. And I'm like, you not only are you a dumbass for trying to pull someone over because they cut you off or whatever, they ran a red light, whatever, right? So you think you've got this mindset where you think you have the authority to pull someone over.
No, there's some sort of end game to that. Like
right.
there was
What's
that guy, David Earl Warden, that was doing that, and he was
the crazy shit is, what's the next step?
The crazy shit is he did it on like a Sunday evening in the summer where it's still light out on a freaking 6-lane highway.
Well, he pulled over right there on the side road.
Yeah.
Did he not like finish academy? Like, was there some link with that?
He was a volunteer fireman and had delusions of grandeur. Thought he was better. He thought he was better than what he was. And I mean, the reality is he was some sort of anyway. I don't even want to get into what he did for a living, but he was a volunteer fireman.
So he said. I remember.
So he said, and again, volunteer firefighters in this area are typically for rural areas only.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a rural area. This is a metro area.
So that wouldn't be typical in your area. So like my hometown is all rural, all volunteer.
Rural town. We had half of our dads were volunteer. They're the rednecks that got in the truck when it was taken off. You know what I mean? That's what it is. But you have a CB or a fireman radio or whatever, but you don't stand there and listen to it. It sits on the counter in the house. You know what I mean? And this dude would sit there on his, in the front yard listening to it, trying to pose. I don't know how you say that, but anyway, so he decides he's going to pull. I don't know if he had a little too much to drink or what, but he pulled some dude over for quote unquote running a red light. And then a police officer was across the street and watched this entire thing unfold. and said, no, you don't, and pulls up behind him and flips on the real lights and then proceeds to arrest him because he was posing as a police officer.
And a lot of our neighbors, well, not a lot.
Just one
neighbor
defended him and had him over not a couple weeks later.
It was so awkward. We were like...
I walked up to their backyard to go see what my kids were doing. I grabbed my kids, turned right around and said, nope. Turned around and walked back home. Like, nope. And, because the mentality of someone who poses as a police officer, that's one step away from psychopath.
Some Ted Bundy stuff. Like, what's
the next step?
Right.
What's the end game there? Anyway, I laughed at him to his face and then turned around and walked away because it's...
There were actually people that defended him in your area?
Yes.
One
of our neighbors did because they were, and I get it, mental illness.
Okay, but mental illness can only explain so much. It doesn't
excuse.
And it doesn't
Mental
excuse.
illness doesn't condone bad behavior, right? You still have it doesn't excuse you from consequences of bad behavior.
Right.
If I'm depressed and lash out and stab someone, I still need to go to jail. It doesn't matter that I was diagnosed with depression. I stabbed somebody.
Well, and if he has anti-personality disorder, I can't remember what you say, but like basically sociopath, psychopath, what they call it now.
Yeah.
Either one of those, then they still, what's interesting is people that have that still can follow rules of society. They just don't feel it. Like they can still make a conscious, logical choice to follow rules of society. It is possible.
Right.
It's just crazy. But this explains more. Yeah, I thought I shared with you that he started this whole share. He was trying to do something similar to like the Humans of New York, the guy who goes out and takes pictures of people and gets their story and life story or whatever.
Oh, sure.
So it's called Share Greenville. And that's when I told you, I'm like, dude, look at this. It had our local news report. I have already shared. I live in Greenville, South Carolina. I've said it forever. No, I didn't dox myself. My husband did. But so yeah, he had people from WIFF.
Okay.
Interviewed them, promoted his Share Greenville thing. He had a business partner on there. But this whole article right here is about him saying
false posing as a police officer serves others.
Right. What he's trying to do, and he even says it on here, is that he says he was expunged and exonerated, which, I mean, you can have something expunged, but you still did it. I know from personal experience. But I had a friend that I was 21. I had a friend from work, and you just bumped me. We had gone to her apartment. She had like a bad day, went to her apartment after work. We were sitting out at like the picnic tables of her apartment complex, but it was near a pond that was not just part of the apartment complex. It was like part of a park or whatever. So we were sitting at night having some drinks at the picnic table, like bitching about life, whatever. And cop comes up. I never realized she wasn't 21. So I got in trouble for buying her alcohol, because I even remember he's like, "Can I see your IDs?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then she's like, she kind of looked at me like she was going to start crying. I'm like, "Shit, are you not 21? She's like, "No, I'm only 20. I turned 21 in like 3 months or something." So yeah, I had to do community service and all that stuff. But I still, yes, it's not on my record. Like I got it expunged as well. But I still committed the crime technically.
Mm-hmm.
I know you can't look it up and find it, but first of all, I don't understand how a charge like this can get expunged. I don't understand why impersonating a police officer in my state is not taken more seriously. But that's all this article is about, is that, you know, my mugshot's still out there, my whatever. And he says that it names the marketing agency that he uses. It's Curations. Because remember I told you, Nikki, I'm like, I can't find anything on him anywhere. And it was everywhere. You just typed his name in a Google search and the Snapchat videos came up. I couldn't even search it on Snapchat anymore. And again, his wife, I don't know so much him, but I know his wife supposedly comes from like a more well-to-do, is it a Georgian family?
Charlotte?
Oh, Charlotte.
Did they bury it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I think, I understand his point of view if he had not done it, but he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, I don't think he's innocent in saying like that he didn't want a bigger role than what he had.
Right. So that's what this is right there. Wow.
What?
Him explaining the marketing company that he used.
Okay.
And that they reached out to Google to have it removed, and Google was like, nope. But anyway, so yeah, that was our neighbor. I can't remember why we got on that topic, but you're welcome. Probably because Spartanburg serial killer. But yeah, that was some crazy stuff. And I remember, as much as I bitch about people getting involved, at that point, I feel like it's justified. I called the fire department that he claimed to be a volunteer firefighter for, because at that point, I'm like, holy crap, was that even true? And
but this is your neighbor. It's not like someone calling from across the country
read his
saying
report.
saying like, oh, this person does this online, yada yada yada, and they're doing this. Like, this is your neighbor, and you have concerns for your own family. So,
and they have children, and they have children that are going to go to the same schools as my children.
Right.
And if he fooled a grown adult into believing he was a police officer, how easily can he fool a child? And if he's not held accountable legally from doing this, then he has no restraints on him, so to speak, in like entering my child's school. So I found it as a safety factor. And even
because I would imagine your with me being in a metro area, our school districts are like based on where you live goes a zip code. So like if he were to go into a local school in his zip code, they aren't necessarily going to know that he's not
correct.
I mean, I would hope so, but they're not necessarily going to know that he's not actually a police officer in that district.
Right.
And they might just let him in on his word and whatever he bet online.
Yeah.
So
it was insane.
They're moving back to Charlotte, I think, so that's good.
Yeah, but so Spackle, watch out, because he's actually in your state last time we heard.
Oh, good. I have a lot of psychos, so why not another one?
This is who I was telling you. When you and Sina one night were mentioning, like, what was it, redwoods versus, is it Sequoia?
Sequoia, yeah. Sequoia is the better one in my opinion. Redwoods is good, but Sequoia is going to have bigger trees for the most part.
Yeah.
Like it'll have General Sherman and like there's, I don't know, there's some really beautiful trees. But it depends on where you go if you visit Kelly. Like, you know.
We're planning on, and hopefully next summer, doing maybe 2 summers from now,
2 summers.
Doing like a cross country RV family trip.
We're gonna run 10 south all the way across through Arizona. I've got friends in Arizona, I've got family in a couple other states that we're gonna stop in and see.
But I've always wanted to see, the thing that I wanted to do was go see the redwoods. But I heard you guys talking about.
Are you doing like a national park type thing?
Yeah, we've got our national park pass. I've got a national pass for.
So if you do Sequoia,
yeah,
you're not too far from Yosemite as well.
Right.
So there's that. If you do the Redwoods Forest, you're not too far from San Francisco.
Right. Yeah, and my big thing was just run PCH. So we're gonna run PCH. You know, be one of the assholes
RV
with the
friendly.
No, not at all.
Yeah, Pacific Highway is just gonna go up the coast. It won't run you to the Sierra Nevadas. So yeah.
No, we're gonna. That was the thing. That my thing is to run the PCH because it's gorgeous views and the cliffs and everything. So running up through there and then cutting back over and hitting.
Do cliffs and RVs mix?
No.
No, but
you sound like you have an adventurous husband, so
it'll be
you're
fine.
You're fine.
It's not that cliffy.
It's a highway.
It gets more serious with cliffs around Monterey, but anything down below is not that bad.
Yeah, we're not going all the way to Monterey, but we'll cut back over and hit. I don't even know what that highway is, but the reality was I was going to hit, either just north of LA, or between just north of LA, and then hit PCH and go up, and then cut back over.
Can we go real north of LA? Like avoid it?
Kind of. If you're coming from AZ, then you have to kind of, yeah.
Are you all gonna hit Utah?
You're all gonna miss
on the way back. On the way back.
You're gonna miss San Diego.
Utah is my bucket list.
It means the whale's vagina, is what I heard.
It's a whale's vagina.
Is that from a movie or something? Okay.
Yes.
My husband speaks in movie quotes, so.
Stay classy, San Diego.
We also have a national park pass in Utah, and it's funny because so Glacier is on our one of our top spots.
I understand that.
And I grew up right next to it.
I want to go there. I've never been.
I grew up right next to it. I never went, like an idiot.
What?
So yeah, I never went.
What?
So originally I was born in North Dakota, on the border of North Dakota and Montana. And
for sake, don't make fun of her accent, eh?
Well, for Pieko, what to do, and yeah, there you go.
Don't you?
Are we in Fargo
Michigan?
Now? You need the extra coding.
So Medora is my passion. Like Theodore Roosevelt National Park with the horses there. It's a fabulous national park, but I never went to Glacier. Yeah. So Glacier's at our top, but then Utah is next. Obviously, we've been to the Smokies. We love it so much that we're moving there. So
really,
Utah's really pretty. Yeah,
we're gonna run.
But yeah,
like I said, once we hit, let's say Oklahoma, we'll probably start eking northwest from there. And that's my plan now. Now we're not gonna. That's not set in stone because it was going to be this year, but we had a couple of big trips that we decided were more important than running.
We're going to Disney World.
Don't say it out loud. God,
Shut up. Really?
don't say it out loud.
Well, she already said it out loud. Now I'm jealous.
But yeah, we're not going to tell them until we're 10 minutes away.
Yeah.
But
yeah, don't do that.
no. But yeah. So originally the plan was to go do our whirlwind tour this summer and take 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and go do that. But got a couple of big trips that are taking place of that. So maybe 24 we'll do an out west trip and then cut north. But I've got a couple of, like I said, Glacier and of course, what is it? The Grand Canyon. There's Glacier, and then going.
You know
up.
what's weird?
But if you go into Glacier, are you going to go into Canada? Like, are you going to do both?
I don't think we'll hit all the way north. I don't think we're going to get across the border.
You don't want to go back home.
Canada's. I'm still American, damn it. But she makes fun of me because she can't understand Letterkenny, and I understand Letterkenny, and I hear it, and I crack up because I can hear all the.
But wait, like it's really not that much far north. If you're in Glacier already, like one of the major trails in Glacier literally goes through Canada.
Yeah, it does, but we don't need to go that far north.
Oh boy, you just don't want to go back to Canada.
Back.
Seriously, grew up in the forest of Michigan.
Yeah, like we were 60 miles from the Canadian border.
Canadian.
My wife made fun of us because she said, "What's on the other side of them woods?" And I said, "More woods." And she said, woods, more woods.
Like I thought I was from the country, and you said you were from the country, but I'm like, you were not. You're from the forest.
I'll tell you. Okay, so you ready for a little joke here? So,
yep.
She's from redneck part of Florida, and I went to hang out with all the guys from all of her friends, and she said, "Be careful because they're pretty redneck." And I said, "Well, I'm pretty country myself."
Careful what you say.
I went and hung out with them, right? And they were pretty redneck. Got it. It's cool, right? That's your people. So yeah, we'll just say redneck. Anyway, so and then we went to Michigan, and I said, okay, well now we're going to the country where I'm from, and she didn't realize it, but so we went up there. We spent the week with my family, kind of hung out, and on the way back, so from Upper Peninsula to about Midland, which is about 3.5 hours. She didn't say much, not much at all. About Midland, she says,
which is rare, right?
About Midland, she says, "Honey, you're not country." I said, "Oh yeah?" And she says, "No, you're forest, like lumberjack." I said, "Well, that tracks.
Bunyan.
That tracks because I can remember at 10 years old holding a chainsaw, right, cutting down trees, and then on top of that, all of the males. We went back last year, and all the males in my family always talk about their property, and they go, "Oh yeah,
got some trees to cut down.
Got some trees to cut down.
We need to take some trees down. Got some trees we gotta take down over there."
She even said, she said, "You're from the forest." She says, "Your squirrels are the size of cats. Your cats are the size of dogs. Your dogs are the size of small horses." She goes, "I'd hate to see a bear." And I said, "Yeah, you kind of hate to see a bear. They're kind of assholes."
When we were near, I guess, Lake Michigan, like near Mackinac Island, is that
Huron?
okay?
Yeah.
I was just gonna ask you about Mackinac because my in-laws just went there this past summer, and they were like obsessed in love with Mackinac Island. We couldn't talk more about it, and like they love it. And so I was like curious how far that is from like where he grew up.
About an hour. So I grew up in a small town of about 300 people, and it was in the middle of the woods.
Yeah, it was scary.
It was, yeah, but anyway, so yeah, Mackinac Island, like to put it in perspective, one of my family's close friends, they leased all of the workhorses to Mackinac Island. So it was nothing for us to go deliver horses in the summertime. Or
Legitimately, he did this. He didn't just get a stock photo off the internet and post it and say that he used to work with horses.
Right. So, we used to deliver these horses.
I witnessed it
in the springtime to Mackinac Island. You get them on the ferry, and the only way to get there is cross by ferry. So we'd have stock ferries deliver these horses. We'd have 50, 60 head of horse, and they're all these big, nasty, Clydesdale kind of horses, right? Big stock breed horses. And we'd take them over there, and that was nothing to me.
Which
that
were
was
also very scary.
That was nothing. That was nothing.
They all surrounded me when he went to go visit this guy that he's talking about, their family. I had friends-ish, like adjacent friends who had horses, but I didn't really like growing up. But I was never really like around. Like I saw them. But I was never really around them.
And they were all the older horses that had retired or whatever were either being sold as stock breed or whatever. And so we were walking out in the corrals. And when I say corral, I mean 30, 40, 50 acre corrals. And so I'm walking with our friends and my family, and we're just walking along, and we're kind of, checking fences or whatever, just kind of walking along. And I hear my wife
fine.
behind me.
Crystal.
Behind me, she goes, and she says my name out loud with an exclamation point on it. And I turn around, and there's like 10 horses surrounding her with all their ears forward, looking at her like, "Hey, who are you? What's going on?"
Literally, I was in a circle of horses, and I'm like, all I knew was like, don't make sudden moves to startle them, and they'll kick you. Like, I know they're not like mean, but I didn't want to freak them out. But they were all encircling me and getting closer. One started sniffing me, and I'm just like,
But have you ever been in like with horses before that?
Not really, obviously.
Yeah.
Not really.
The hilarious part was I just knocked one out of the way, and I grabbed her, and they were trying to nip at her hair because she's got long hair. It looks like hay. So they're like, hey, you taste good.
Hey,
what's up with this? Here's a new one.
It was scary.
So yeah, her entire experience in Upper Peninsula or Northern Michigan was large animals, and the funny thing is,
the seagull, again, where I'm from Florida, like we obviously have seagulls, but the one that came up to us like on Mackinac Island was like, I'm like, holy crap, that's like the size of a cat. What the hell is that? We've got these little Tweety bird seagulls where I'm from. I was freaked out
when we first moved
to be honest, like I love when people aren't from the country and like they're first around like horses. Yeah. My husband is JC, because like we go on trips, and I always want to go horseback riding in every like really cool area that we're in, and he's the city boy that's just looking around with me because I want to go horseback riding.
My cousin,
but I will never forget when we were like on a road trip, and there was like pastures that we were passing. There wasn't any cows out, and he saw cows a little bit beyond that, and he goes, "Who let them out of their kennels?" And I almost like I spit out my water, and I was like, "Wait, what did you just say?" And he's like, "Who let them out of their kennels?" And I'm like, "Baby, those are cows. Like they don't go in kennels. Like, what do they marry?"
When I first tried to feed a pony, his family works with ponies a lot. And I tried to feed a pony something by like, what did I do? Tried to stick it up its mouth, and you're like, no, lay your hand flat and let it come to you. I'm like, okay. All I know was alligators and water moccasins. I don't know.
My cousin, who was a goth chick at one point, brought this little Detroiter up there, and he was just a city boy, had no clue. And they had showed up, and they were walking around, and we had colts that had come from Utah and Montana, wild colts, and we had brought them in, and we would neck rein them and train them to be around humans, right?
Did you handle their balls?
No. So
Because if you're a really good, like, Olympic chicken wrangling
I mean,
breeder, you gotta train your dogs with plastic plastic slides for, we have a child who has special needs, and we can only train dogs who have killed goats before.
oh, sure.
But the important thing is, for a stud horse, you have to, like, you remember those Chinese calming balls that you like.
You can do that once.
Got
once.
it. Okay.
It's about once.
Got it.
But so this little goth kid came out there, and he was a colt had jumped the fence and was trying to run, and he stopped, and he was making this. He was like had his arms out, and he's like going back and forth, and you could tell he was real nervous. And I just walked over there, and I kind of waved my hand, and the colt jumped back over the fence, and I looked at him and kind of turned around and walked away. And my family, my mom, I think actually had said something. She's like, I don't think he knew what was going on. And I said, the colt? And he said, no, the kid. I'm like, because he thought he was going to tackle this colt. It was an 1,100-pound colt, and he was going to tackle it. I'm like, it's not what you're
Wait,
gonna do,
1,100-pound colt? Like, a colt's a baby, though.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Well, they're stock breed horses. He had jumped the
like,
fence.
I know what that means.
He's like Clydesdale-ish.
Oh, I've seen those before.
Yeah, but a baby Clydesdale, like a baby. We had quarter.
But even a baby Clydesdale's a big baby.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
like I said, he
sure.
was about 1,100 pounds. He was getting up there. He was probably a year old. So, but and that's not to say, please don't take that to mean that we dealt with Clydesdales all the time. That was just our friend who had.
No, I'll prove it with Google stock photos that
sure.
you did.
Yeah. But I mean, we had paints and
I
quarter
taught
horses,
them
paints and
sign language.
airs and-
It was a little difficult with the hooves, but
yeah,
I did it.
yeah, it's
I
good.
did it. I did.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Right? Was that after I had you surrounded, or
After I touched their balls.
oh, that's why they didn't let you go?
That's why they circled around me. They're like, "This is my turn next." Nope.
Awkward finish. All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to bed.
All right.
I'm gonna do things that are not this. Ladies, thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Good night, Mr. Dogood.
Bye. Love you. Thank you. And obviously, I didn't really want to say it before because I didn't want anybody to feel obligated. I think some of you probably pieced together. Today's my birthday. So I made him come talk to me.
Wait, what? I set a reminder.
That's because last year Aaron got it wrong, and I just said, yes, it's my birthday today, and it wasn't. It's today.
JC, no.
I'm old. It doesn't
I'm the worst friend in the world. I'm so sorry.
For what?
Because I didn't know it was your birthday.
I
and
didn't
feel
tell
like it's
people.
horrible.
You can't feel guilty for not knowing. I dropped hints to you about what my age is too, but you have to be a real big nerd. Has to do with the towels and the fish. That's why we're
But
eating.
I have a whole bot thing. Like, the bot is nice. You just need to get used to her. She gives you special privileges on your birthday. And I didn't know it was your birthday. Damn it.
I don't know. I wasn't sure what we were going to be able to do today either. And I'm weird about my birthday. So it's like, yep, I was born today. Woohoo. After 40, it's like, okay. Oh, picture this. So last night I was talking to my daughter. She said, tomorrow's your birthday. She asked what age I was. I'm like, well, today I'm this, but tomorrow I'll be this. And she goes, so basically every year for your birthday, you lose 1 year of your life. And I'm like, yep, that much closer to death. So that was a nice bonding moment we had. What day does the bot think it is? I know last year, I think somebody had mentioned it like on the 19th or 20th. And I think someone mentioned it in Erin's live stream and she got confused and thought it was that day. And I mean, I'm not going to argue. I'm just going to be like, yep, it's today. Close enough. I don't care. But I thought that was really funny. My husband's like, I'm not getting on camera. You don't have to. And then he was telling his whole life story.
He's hilarious.
He's pretty funny. That's we basically are together because of our horrible dry sense of humor. I think I've told this story before. We met in a bar, you know, like most people do. And my boyfriend at the time had broken up with me. The girl that I was with, who was supposed to take me out after work and cheer me up, was just sitting there making out with a guy. And I'm just like sitting in a bar feeling horrible, bored to death. And again, so I've lived many different places. I grew up in the South, even though people don't think Florida's the South. I think Dina proves that Florida's Southern. But it's just a different breed. But here, it's just different. Like, if you're not really, what is the word, effeminate as a chick here, and like, oh my gosh, hey y'all, da-da-da, and sunshiny, like, dudes don't know how to handle you. They think you're weird. Well, I mean, I am weird, but even if you're not weird and you're not like all bubbly and prissy and everything like that, it's like a turnoff for them. And so I think a guy or two had came up to me that night, talked, and I like cracked a weird dumb joke or something, and they walked away. So that was an ego booster. So then by the time my husband came up to me, I was like, let's just cut to the chase, dude. I'm sarcastic. You don't want to talk to me. Like, I'm not that kind of chick. Like, it's okay. Just go away. Like, I'm going to save you the trouble. I'm not going to be your cup of tea. And he was like, oh, sarcastic, huh? I'm like, yeah, no, you don't understand. And then we started talking, and now 18, 19 years later, we're still annoying each other. I'm like,
I think it's the sarcasm that gets them.
I bet you wish you would have gone away like I told you to.
They complain, but it's like, but you liked the feisty originally.
Exactly. This was appealing to you before. So
okay, well, in your time zone, you still have 10 minutes left of your birthday.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Happy freaking birthday. I'm so sorry that I'm a horrible friend and I didn't know.
I didn't tell anybody. So you're good.
I feel bad, and now I need to correct the bot because she is a bitch and she didn't give you the roles and do all the things.
Nice.
So.
You're good. Oh, Spackle did say. Don't you think of like spackling when you hear her name? I do.
I do. Like repairing the holes.
Yeah. I don't know
like,
whose hole, but she is really cool. I like her. I've enjoyed talking with her.
Like ever since we left a certain situation, like there's just been certain people that have like kind of become close to us that I feel they are more genuine than what we're used to.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do as well.
And we may or may not be considered Unifam, and that's fine. I don't necessarily even watch Uni all the time or agree with him on everything, but the people that are in his circle, he has some good people.
He does. And it really seems like a lot of people are supportive of each other and just, I mean, again, I legit told him in that voice chat that night, I'm like, dude, I don't know about you. I think you're a little weird. I don't get the bread thing. And he was like, not offended by it. I wasn't trying to say it to be offensive. Oh, you're still listening. Hi. But they're truly able to handle different perspectives, opinions. They're like, hey, you didn't like my stream tonight, or you don't like this topic? Cool. Like,
I think they gave us some grace knowing that we were just coming out of a situation where we didn't know where we were going to land. We
Right.
didn't know where we wanted to go. We were just not okay where we were.
I feel like at least I think you feel the same way. It's like I needed to talk about, and sometimes still do. I think Spackle was asking the other night, and again, I don't know if this was on the space or the voice chat or whatever, but kind of asking the question, how do I feel now looking back in regard to people like Ron and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I felt like I needed a place at that time to vent. It's like I needed to talk to people who understood what the heck I was talking about, and like, who the hell was I just friends with? Like, what did I just come out of? And yes, I can talk to my husband about it, but I've got to tell him the whole dang backstory, which is
But our
really
husbands
long.
aren't on YouTube.
Right.
They don't get it to the extent that other people that are on YouTube get it. Like, sure, they love us and they're willing to listen because they love us, but they don't get it fully. And the fact that people in Unifam are willing to listen, and still to this day, like, I still feel like if I needed to, I could reach out to several of them and be like, hey,
I believe so
what's
as
this
well.
about? Yeah, like they would be like, this is messed up, or this is like they're on the same wavelength as what our morals are.
Yeah.
So
they seem like normal enough people, and I'm saying that of my own regard too. I'm weird, whatever, but they seem like genuine, caring people. And to me, especially when Julie had the fundraiser for the Wicked Pickle, and Uni came in and like transposed that whole song, and just, I don't know, to me
you
that
see the side of him that you don't
he's
see on
very
his channel.
caring. Yeah.
Yes. And I wish we would see that side more, honestly, because like when he did that for Wicked Pickle, like that's the type of stuff that I got into YouTube for. Like, it's not about the money. It's not about doing what you want for AdSense. It's the community and the caring. And when he did that out of his way for Wicked Pickle, and how, like, I adore Wicked Pickle, and we're both obviously pickle lovers. So when he did that, it touched my heart, and I just feel like you got to see a side of him that you don't always see on his channel.
I know I took him more seriously too.
Yeah.
And again, it just seemed like I had so much respect for him for doing that. He didn't have to do that. It took time out of his day. I just thought it was cool. Not for just jumping, oh, I'm going to do this over here because they have this many followers or this many whatever, so I'm going to show up here. And again, there's a time and a place for stuff like that. I don't think there's anything wrong with making a career out of this or a very good side hustle. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But just like in businesses, like I have family members who own businesses, there's the time you network and do things like that. And then there's just times you're a normal human being and are doing it for no reason other than this is the right thing to do. So I just thought that was cool. Spackle says, let me say this about Unifam. Unifam stood up for us when we were being menaced by Warden himself and Chesh telling really wild lies. There were many people who saw that it was wrong, but went silent. Yeah. I know you missed the Twitter space.
I'm really sad about that.
I was putting myself out there a little bit more again, because there's still so many layers to this. Every once in a while, I still like, I don't know if
I feel
triggered
like
is the right word.
you and I get in these motions where I want to like just stay quiet and just want to observe, and then once in a while we want to like dip out there and say stuff.
Right.
And when I heard that you went on with Spackle, I'm like, oh, that's really good for her. I just really wish I heard it. So
I personally like too that we're interacting more with people from that realm. And I guess that's the point too, is hearing, like, it took me a whole year to piece things together about Fiona. And I said this on the space the other night. I had thought for a long time Fiona was a different person. And this person that I was watching thinking it was her was someone who wasn't making sense to me, and I wasn't following along, and seemed to be really like drama. And I'm like, I don't understand this. So I kind of quit paying attention. But just kind of like when I first talked about my experience with, or me saying, hey, I understand the people I modded for and hung out with a lot are doing and saying this. I just want to make it clear that my opinion and my morals are different. So that's kind of the same thing. I've been trying to explain, like, gosh, I hope none of you thought we knew what was going on in regards to that dude Warden and stuff like that during that time, because I was a subscriber to Steve. I hung out with when they did Caffeine Corner and stuff like that, and the chats and everything. So like, I'm like, yeah, I would hear these names get thrown out there, but I didn't know who they were talking about, and I didn't understand what they were talking about. First of all, he would kind of speak in code a little bit, but also when I did start hearing names like Warden's name, then I had something that I could use to go Google. Like, I didn't want people to think the majority of us that have now kind of separated from those people knew what was going on with Fiona being attacked and her personal life being attacked, and we're on board with that. Like, I had no fucking clue who those people are, what was going on. And I think it's good to explain kind of timelines of when we appeared and how we came about and how we got connected with this person and that person, because I think it, just as people have filled in the pieces for you and I think it helps fill in the pieces for them as well, just to kind of gain more
like
understanding.
I got connected because of the Facebook group. Was I always a fan of Steve? No, actually. A lot of people think that I left because of Claire. That
right.
While it's not 100% false, because there were things going on, it's not true.
Right.
When I messaged Aaron, it was about Steve. I didn't say Steve's name in my message, but it was because of Steve. And I knew of Fiona, but I didn't know all the specifics. And like you, the person that I knew to be Fiona was confusing. And it wasn't until I joined Uni's server that I got to be in a voice call with Fiona
Right.
and get
I'm
to
like,
know
oh, you're that
her.
person. And then hearing
Yeah.
her, I'm like, this is not the same that I was
And I
at.
felt horrible. Like,
Right.
honestly, felt horrible. Like,
Right.
that woman has gone through so much, and I don't blame her one bit for hating everybody that has anything to do with it.
Yeah.
And
Or being guarded too, because
yeah. And I'm sure she's still guarded around us, and I understand why. But,
right.
like, I would like her to know that people cherish and adore her, and that we understand now, being on the outside and seeing things and realizing things for our own
Yeah.
and researching and doing our own investigation, that
Yes. Well, she should be guarded too.
100%. I would be too if I was her.
She doesn't come across as hateful to me.
She's not hateful at all. She's super sweet, in my opinion.
Yes. Pretend fashionista. I feel like McLobster is intentionally vague, almost like they want to keep the truth away from general knowledge. And that's what I was trying to explain too. A lot of times when I was on panels with Claire, not just she and I, but especially when we would do those Why YouTube things, I'm like not really understanding what she's saying. Like, I feel like I'm part of a conversation that I didn't know that I was a part of. Like this whole, well, JC, what do you think about subscribers having relationships with people? Like, I didn't know there was side drama with subscribers and relationships. So I'm sitting here telling my honest perspective and opinion about things. People are saying that I'm close with her. So they probably think she's telling me, which eventually she does. But, you know, these little side fights and, pardon me,
But even if you're close with someone and you're modding with them or you're a mod for them and you're in a Discord, doesn't mean you know everything.
Right.
And if they don't prepare you for the stream, like sometimes that comes out to hurt everybody, because then people give their opinions and people say how they feel about things, not knowing what's really going behind the scenes.
Right. Like, I don't even know how to give an example, but yeah, the whole vagueness. I remember Steve would say something just every once in a while when they were doing a video, like having Leslie on or something like that. He would put out these things like, yeah, Katie, and yeah, there's these trolls out here who think I'm an R apologist. And then he would, you know, keep talking about Katie, whatever. And I'll just be like, huh? What? He wouldn't say, hey, I had this dude on who was convicted of this, and that's why people are mad. He would, I don't even want to say he would say half truths. It was just extremely vague. And I don't know if it was he or Chess that said Warden's name one time. I'm like, finally, just for my own sanity, I can go look up what the hell they were talking about. That's why I first looked it up. I'm like, I just want to get a reference to what they're talking about. And I think the search brought up Nate Brody's video. And I had seen some of his videos once or twice before. And, you know,
sometimes it wasn't even that. Like,
yeah,
I feel like the wide YouTube stuff, you guys were kind of put in a hot pot. And most moderators, depending on whose channel was hosting it that week, most moderators weren't clued in on what had gone on for the past couple of years.
Correct.
I was, so I knew what to look for because I'd been a part of this community for quite a while.
Yeah, and
but I remember even like one of the first episodes, we had Jackie on, and everything had just gone down with her. And we had like the
And
Red Rampage stuff, and like
sorry.
it was wild because you had people in chat that were furious at her. And I get why they were furious. And then you had the Red Rampage stuff. And it just, like, the creators that were brought on that panel, in my opinion, were running into a wrecking ball. Like, literally waiting to be smacked because people were wanting to have an option to question them. And the creators that were joining this didn't have a clue, usually, that they were walking into that.
Yep. I didn't. It would be vague questions that she and the Dark Magician would say, and I'm like, okay, but then it was like something I felt like could have been touched on, like a question, like, what do you think about parasocial relationships? Well, blah, 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 and then move on to the next topic. But they wouldn't. It was like they would sit there the whole time and harp on that one thing, and I'm like, why are we not able to move from this question? And they talked about it so much that it made me feel like they were talking about something, not just a general question. And again, how that whole series was presented to me was, it was new YouTubers collaborating to give each other tips and tricks and stuff like that. It wasn't anything like how to fucking use Discord or, just technical stuff, or I don't want to say like a networking thing, but kind of, and just to sit there and have fun and, get more exposure,
Right.
I guess. I don't know the right fucking words to use, but, the first time when they started talking about drama in a vague way, I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I remembered trying to steer the conversation like, hey, why don't we all talk about our projects that we're working on next, or, the next videos we're going to do. And even though all of us were avatars, it's still like you could hear a pin drop when I said that. And it was like as if I was being stared at, like I had 3 heads by everyone.
I think it's because the other people didn't want to address it. And then the one person that did want to address it only wanted to address it because it was their personal issue that they needed to address.
Right.
And they should have addressed it on their channel and not the series.
And not used other people who had no clue for their own agenda.
Right.
That was weird. And I even said in the background several times, I'm like, I don't know that I want to be a part of this. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but it's not really my thing. And then they were like, yeah, I don't like this either. And I don't like this person and that person. I'm like, well, that's not quite what I meant. But and I felt, and I'm still grateful. And there were some times I had fun, but I kept doing it. And I wasn't at every one from then on out, but I did do a handful more. But it was more just out of respect that Claire had brought me into that.
Right.
So, and again, at that time, which again, I don't want to make it seem like I think she's crazy, but
it wasn't even Claire's idea originally. It's Jamal's.
Yeah. Yeah, it turned into shit-talking sessions. Yes. It had potential, but was often used to further other agendas. And, Claire had kept mentioning to me, I don't like where this is going. I don't like how he's making it all about drama. I'm like, well, if you don't, maybe it won't be an issue if you go to him and say, hey, in addition to doing this, maybe we could also do one that is what we set out for it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And Or, hey, if you're not comfortable, I mean, let's just do one of your own, you know? You don't have to be beholden to this, but she wouldn't. And now, then I thought she was just trying to be respectful to him, which perhaps she was, but I also think it's because she had her own agenda as well. Jackie kept talking vaguely about Kim and Stacy, and it pissed me off. Yeah, and again, I didn't know who Kim and Stacy were at that time. So I'm sitting up there. These people probably think I know the whole backstory of all of them, and I don't. And I'm up there just like, doo, 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 doo. So made many of you watching very.
This is a part where, like, as a mom, because at this time I hadn't started a channel, I hadn't done anything, and at the time I'm thinking like, well, like, this stuff needs to be talked about, but like, I can't, as a mod for someone, like,
I don't think you have to have, like,
you don't need to talk about it, but at the same time, like, you also don't need to tolerate certain things. And there were certain things going on that were inappropriate, in my opinion.
Yeah. But could have been a message. Like, is it one of those things where I should?
Yes, it absolutely could have been a DM. Yep.
You know what I mean? I don't think it has to be a whole fucking series. Like,
nope. Absolutely could have been a DM. Would they have accepted the DM, or would they have done anything with the DM? Probably not. No. But yes, it absolutely could have been a DM.
Like, in order, if their thing was to have a successful YouTube channel, you don't have to talk about, you don't have to handle management business out in public in your YouTube channel in order to be successful. It's weird. I mean, you can if you want to, but you don't have to. Like, I don't know. Everything's just, it took things way too seriously.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't what you should be focusing on. This isn't, if you're in it to grow your channel, this shit isn't going to grow your channel. It made panelists look like co-signers. Yes, that's what I'm trying to get across. When you didn't know what was going on behind the scenes or what had happened before. Correct. I feel that way in that situation, and I feel that way in the situation when it comes to Aaron, Steve, Chesh, all of the above. Like,
I think that's part of the reason you and I left. We had become so upset with being accused of agreeing with her and what she streams about in her opinion. And even if we would say, like, we don't agree, we don't agree, we don't agree.
Right.
She never once had our back. There was one moment, and I will give her this, way, way towards the end. I think it literally probably only like 2 weeks before we left. She had made a statement about Roadhog, saying that
kind of made me mad, actually.
Yeah, she had
said
when
he started being dangerous, and I'm like, please don't put my name anywhere near his name. Thank you.
No, at the time, because of where I was, like, mentally and in all of it, because of everything going on, like with other channels that what have you, but like at the time I'm kind of like, okay, thank you. At least one person that we mod for is hearing us out, because me personally.
Do you think she did, or do you think it was convenient timing?
At the time, I thought she did.
Yeah.
Now, looking back, I don't agree on that anymore. I think it was convenient, and I think it was just what she did to save face.
Save face, yeah. Yep.
Because at the time, and it's still on my Twitter, I thanked her and I said, "This is why we love you."
Yeah.
And now I feel like an idiot.
I
Because it was even
felt that way too.
probably 2 weeks later that I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
Right. Even now, still, man, I hadn't watched her in a very long time, but saw someone had shared her title or whatever, and a lot of times I can just ignore it, but that one I'm just like, oh my God, what is she gonna say? And I think it was a tweet that she had done, like, who cares? Who cares?
Yeah.
At least he didn't blah blah blah. I'm like, who care? How? Again, there's things that
Okay.
I want to talk about.
For clarity purposes, you and I both do not agree with domestic violence.
Correct.
We don't agree with anybody platforming domestic violence or anybody that does
Correct.
it. But you cannot compare someone bitch slapping.
No.
You cannot compare that with rape. And this is why I responded to her. And I know she can't see my tweet. I'm sorry about that. But what I said is, have you lost your fucking mind? Because what if this was your daughter and she was finally getting justice?
Right.
And this is how you respond?
This is going to be clipped now for us going, they want my daughter to be.
Well, fuck them. I really don't care anymore. I just don't care.
Yeah, I understand. I don't either, but I just, she wanted to predict PJ, so I'm predicting myself.
Predict me saying I don't give a flying fuck.
Yeah, and she has to think that way. She's intelligent enough. So what is she doing? What is she saying? Why is she doing this? Of course, she would have to think about, what if this was my child? Like,
because allegedly she's an SA victim herself. From everything she's portrayed in the past and everything she's hinted at the past, she's an SA victim herself. So, okay, either you go there yourself or you think about your daughter.
Right.
In this situation. He's a piece of fucking shit. And the shit that he's done, he deserves to die for, in my opinion.
It's pretty disgusting for sure.
And so the fact that your first response is to say, who cares?
Yeah.
Those are your first words. Like, honestly, like, I just don't get it.
It was the same thing with like the sweet heathen stuff when I saw her responses to things that people had said. Like, hey, are you aware this is her experience with Steve? And it was like, the response gave me like, what do you mean? Crazy ex-girlfriend? Like, it gave me those kind of vibes. I'm like, wow. And I see that I got unplugged.
I was just going to say muted.
Knows that's not true. That's why it's like, everyone is trying to grasp, why is she doing this? And I have theories, and I know we've talked before, and there's some that kind of sparked kind of some possible connections from a conversation I had the other day, and it's not stuff that I want to say online, but I think it would be interesting to have a conversation with you to see if you think there's any connection there as well. But I feel like it's more than just somebody has dirt on somebody.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what I would have to have in order for me to say something like that when I have my own children. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't.
Yeah.
There's, of course, I can't think of anything that shitty that I would do anyway, but that shitty and someone have dirt on me. Like, I've done some crappy stuff for sure, but I normally make my mistakes right out in the open, so I don't even have a chance to even act like I didn't do it. Kind of like spitting on myself on
I
camera.
mean, no person is human, but there's a.
Did you say no person is human?
Yep, I did. No person is. Oh shit.
No human is perfect.
Yes, nobody's perfect. But like, there's limits to where you're gonna go with that.
Right. Yeah, and see, all of that, Cena says the guy posed as a cop, pulled the lady over. Arter, Steve called it consensual. Who could support that? Exactly. And that was another thing. Although I had, watched and been a part of streams, and it says my mic is unplugged again. Maybe God's telling me to shut up. It keeps unplugging my mic again. But even though I had been watching Steve for a while, I'm not going to go back and sit and watch every video he's ever done. So again, when I finally got some breadcrumbs, was
Right.
able to put Warden's name in, go back and look through some of, like, I knew what I was looking for in his videos to see, okay, let me pull it up. Let me pull this interview up to see if he really had this person on, if he really said what people are saying he did. And then turns out yes to all of it.
Right.
Here's a point that Steven or Stina. Oh my God, I called you Steve and Stina. Please don't hate me forever. I'm so sorry. You had said something, the consensual thing. Like, I feel like once you find out for yourself, once you see it for yourself, like, what is the reason? I'm just now fascinated at the reason for defending Steve. I'm just so curious. What is the point?
I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Like, all the all the failures he's had. Like, I understand you want to be friends with someone. That doesn't mean you need to openly defend the bullshit that they've done. And that's what she's doing. Like,
right.
With the NSS stuff, she did it with, I can't even tell you how many things she has, but like this one and how she defended him, I'm like,
right.
Have you lost your fucking mind? Literally, have you lost your fucking mind?
Right. Must have. I don't get it. I didn't know that, Stina, that he had. I knew that they were collaborating, but I didn't ever watch Roadhog, and definitely was not watching Steve by then. We were talking about what chicks wear and how they ask for it. Awesome. How absolutely wonderful. That is beyond disgusting. Oh my gosh. It infuriate me. Again, I'm just curious. I know it's going to be some time where it makes sense. The reason comes. It might be a year from now. It might be 10 years from now. But when you finally piece it together and figure it out, I feel like there has to be a reason for the defense of him. Oh, really? Nice.
I mean, I don't see it.
I'm not saying a legitimate or justified reason, but what is the logic? I can't follow the logic.
Yeah.
You know?
I used to think it was like a channel thing, but now that doesn't make sense. So
Right.
I don't get it either. I mean, I get defend your friends to the ends of the earth, but with friends like that, who needs enemies?
Yeah. I often just think of past conversations, past interactions, I'm like, was any of that really even real? Like, what? Again, who was I
Some
talking?
of it makes more sense now. Would you say like the mod chat, like when she would ghost it for a while and then all of a sudden something would happen and she would pop in and she'd have like 5 million messages?
Yeah, there was definitely other things going on. And when I guess Claire let it slip that she had another Discord account, and we were all like, "Oh, we didn't know you had another Discord account." Like when we were trying to have a mod chat, and
that literally happened the week we left. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Okay, cool. Like let's just do this. And then that Discord call happened and then I was done.
yeah.
Well, to be fair, that Discord call happened, the live happened, and then I was done.
Right. Yeah, that call, that was a weird call.
I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt on that stream. I really did. And then that stream happened and that's
I think it
happened.
was for me in that stream, it was why are you people trying to ruin his life? And I'm like, the fuck?
We're not trying to ruin his life. We're just trying to moderate a chat, and you're really not giving us the opportunity, because it was us literally asking for him not to be a mod for the chat,
right,
and not to be involved,
right,
because every time he is,
it made it
he silences people and he makes it worse.
Right.
And we were criticized for that. And then I'm just kind of like, what the fuck am I doing here? Why am I even trying? Like, this is worthless.
Pretend fashionista. Sorry, I think I'm getting tired, so I'm like, blah, blah, blah. Are you referring to her separate account? Discord call. Yes. Okay, now I know. So I know I requested, and I can't remember who else did, but to have a
Actually, Erin requested that Discord call.
Did she?
Yeah, she did. But we didn't know about her other Discord account at the time.
Right. But it was, I wanted to share with her because at that time I was saying that I don't want to say I'm on Chesh's side with this when they kind of split up or whatever, but that I wanted to give Aaron a heads up. Like, hey, I know I'm your friend. I know I'm your mod. I know you're going to do the stream in support of him, but I don't want it to come like as a shock to you or something, that I'm saying the opposite on my Twitter and stuff like that. So I wanted to come to her and explain that, just give her a heads up for that. That's what that, and we were all collectively asking, like Nikki said, for Steve not to be in the chat that night because, for one, just his presence riled people up and we were having to delete this and that and take care of this. And it just made it more work for us. And then not only that, he just kind of instigated people. And we knew it was going to be a hot stream anyway, like heated. So yeah, she had 2 accounts. So we tagged her. This is where I'm pretty sure, not that it matters, but I know it may have been multiple people, but I know I requested to have a voice call before her stream as well. And we tagged Erin in our Discord moderator chat so that she could see it, because she didn't often respond to things. So she would see that, hey, before you do the stream, we'd like to have a conversation with you. And then Claire was like, oh, she's not going to get this because she doesn't have that account anymore. She has like this other Discord. Let me tag her other Discord account. And we're the 3 of us at the time were like, oh, she has another Discord account? Nice to know. Not just for, hey, we're trying to mod for you and it'd be nice to be able to have communication, but also in a friend way, like, oh, you have another mod account, like, or a Discord account, like, I don't know.
Yeah, to me it was
weird.
Yeah.
Suspicious. It was suspicious. I'll just say that. It was suspicious.
You know that, like, is it Cardi B or Nick? No, I think Cardi B, where she's like got the blue pigtails and she's like, that's suspicious.
That's
literally, that's literally how I felt, because I'm like, wait, what's going on here?
Right.
But yeah, like, as mods for her account, regardless of our opinion on what was going on with NSS, we had her best interest at heart. And the fact that we didn't know that she had another account that we were supposed to be tagging and talking to her on and doing a call, and then that stream went how it went, like, there was just so many things that just kind of went boom, 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 boom.
Right.
I was already feeling like I was going to leave right before that stream. I know you were probably right there with me.
I'm like, maybe I can still just, maybe I can, besides that one, I wanted to be there for that one because, again, just like I told them that night, both Erin and Claire were like, you don't have to be here for this. I'm like, no, I want to be. I was around back in the day. Like, I may not have talked much or been, you know, this main player, but I was around. I mainly was around because I liked Chesh. So I'm invested in this as well. And also I'm a grown fucking woman. You can't tell me what to do. But I lost my train of thought. But oh yeah, I was kind of on the fence, but I was hoping that, okay, maybe after this stream from here on out, I can just go to the fun ones and maybe I can like take a step back and like salvage my interaction and friendship with both of them and just kind of only do lighthearted stuff, not have serious conversations or, you know.
For me, that stream was, I was hoping to see Erin take a stance. And in my opinion, she didn't take a stance. She kind of just quivered in the corner with what she knew. And that's fine. That's what she chose, and that's fine because that's her decision. But that her decision wasn't for me, and that's why I left.
Right. And at that point, I still thought, okay, I can still kind of bow out of this and just, you know, go on my merry way. But then things got weird. And yes, like Stina said,
things got weird, things got personal.
Why? Yeah, true. Things got very personal. Why would she no longer have you guys have the one you guys communicated with her on? I agree. And like Nikki was saying, there would be a lot of times. I know when I first started modding for her and got included in the mod chat, like she would be very, involved in that. And we would do the same thing in there that we would do in chats. We would send silly memes to each other and joke and whatever. And most of the time, from what I remember, we only talked about serious stuff when she was on stream and like, hey, I timed this person out because of this, or hey, what do you want me to do about this? It was a way to communicate with her while she was streaming. But yeah, she wouldn't be around for like days at a time, weeks at a time, and we would tag her and stuff and she wouldn't respond. And
don't get me wrong, there was stuff that we would tag her in, and when she would see it, she would, what do I say? Make up for it, if that makes sense. Like, there was stuff going on in our real lives at the time that when she would see it, she would respond. She would tag us back and say, like, I'm so sorry, like, or respond, and she Erin has a heart.
I know that's why,
and that's the part that I think JC and I get struggle with, because we saw it.
Yep.
And we got close to it.
Yep.
And it hurts knowing that it's not what we thought.
Like when you know someone and someone and are, I don't want to say that I loved Erin, but I'm just using this for an example. Like someone you love is like, you want to shake him, like, what are you doing? I know this isn't you. Like, what are you doing? And it's the same thing with that. Like, why are you doing this? This isn't you. But maybe it was. Who knows? Well, it's getting pretty late here. So
yeah,
I'm going to go to bed. Thank you guys for being here. It was fun.
Happy freaking belated birthday, you little secret hoarder. I'm not done with this, by the way. I'm gonna make this a whole thing. Like, you cannot get away with this on me. So
I can, and I did.
That's what you think. I'm gonna enlist everybody in chat. Stina and Pretend Fashionista. I'll get Julie. I'll get them all.
I kind of too. I want Julie to do another karaoke night thing too. That's fun.
Oh, she should. She really should.
It's fun to get everybody, again, having fun. Having fun is what I want to do. But thank you. I appreciate it. I'm super old, so.
You're not super old. Stop it.
I guess I shouldn't say that because Holy Spackle's older than me, just by hair. So I don't want to insult her by saying I'm really old, but I'm really old. But anyway, all right. Well,
all right.
You have a good night, and
you too.
Remind me if I forget sometime this week. Theories. I need to message you and definitely maybe a voice chat about.
We also need a video chat about your microphone, because your microphone seems to be an issue.
Yeah, it's the little connection at the bottom, like the one that I can't be not weird, but the one that you insert up. Yes, I am. Thanks for all the fish. It's not the part that you insert into the computer. It's the mini USB that you insert into the microphone. It just.
Okay. And you have the Blue Yeti?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. I'll do my research. We'll talk.
Thanks, ma'am.
You're welcome, Boomer.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.